we make sure YouTube is doing what it's supposed to do. And then we make sure Twitch is doing what it's supposed to do. And Facebook is doing what it's supposed to do.
That's not the problem. The problem is you can't find the 2536.
Oh, use other. Oh.
One second, guys. I think their audio is live. I'm not sure. Let me lower that down a little bit. All right. So right now, you guys saw the video that we did yesterday, and this is a product that would go fantastic with that device that I showed you guys yesterday. One of the largest problems in screen printing that people with limited space runs into is the fact that in order to get started, in order to burn screens, what are some of the things that you need that make the process so complicated? You need, you need a washout booth. You need emulsion. You need a screen burning system. What do you call that? Exposure. You need the wand with the spray and the compressor to wash out the emulsion. You need to let the emulsion cure. You need a reclaiming station or a dip tank to reclaim the screen after you've used it. And so many other things that I haven't even named yet that doesn't come to mind. But a lot of you guys don't know that there is a technology that's not even new. It's been around for a while. It just doesn't get that much publicity. But this technology is called the My Screen, the QS200, and the QS2536. So we're lucky enough to have Xpress Screen, one of the companies that sells this technology, come on and show us the process of how this stuff works. And later on, you guys will be able to call in with your questions and ask anything that you want. Can you guys hear me? Kathleen says no sound. Can you hear me, Kathleen? Can you hear me, Kathleen? You should be able to. Kathleen, turn your phone up. Turn your phone up or turn your device up, because I can hear me just fine and I should be fine. Let me just check. Yeah. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, my audio's fine. My audio's fine, Kathleen. So that's got to be yours. All right. So let's get this party started. Let's get this party started one more time real fast. So without further ado, guys, we're going to bring on Xpress Screen, and this is going to be Jay from Xpress Screen, and we got Heidi on the camera from Xpress Screen, and they're going to show us this technology called the QS2536, where you can burn a screen for screen printing from your computer, image on your computer, directly to the screen. All right, let's bring on Jay. And this, without further ado, here's Jay from Xpress Screen. Jay, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing great, Alan. Good to see you. Hope you are doing well. And I appreciate the opportunity to allow us at Xpress Screen to come on and talk a little bit about the RESO digital thermal technology, whether it's the My Screen or all the way up to the QS2536.
Awesome. I appreciate that, Jay. So, yeah, you guys' video is freezing a little bit, but we're just going to go along with it. Fine. We'll be fine. So, the QS2536, explain to the viewers exactly what it is so that they can understand, and I can help them understand also.
Yeah, so with conventional screen printer, it's a big old mess. So you've got to have a darkroom, you got to have emulsion, film positives. You have to rinse the screen out once you're done burning. Exposure unit is another piece of the puzzle that you need. So you have all this equipment, and you have this big mess. And the crazy thing, Alan, is this technology really hadn't changed in about 80 years. You still have emulsion, you still have the same big, now the lights have gotten better, the emulsion's gotten a little bit better. But for the most part, it's still the same old crap.
Right.
So ours is completely different. How ours works is our mesh is already coated. So the mesh is on the back side, and on the top side is a PET coating. It's laminated to it. So this is like your pretend emulsion. It's already on your screen. So you don't have to have the darkroom, and you don't have to have the emulsion. And all we're going to do is stretch this out over the screen and run it through our exposure unit, and it did a digital thermal print head will take the coating off wherever we want ink to go through, and it does it with a very fine resolution.
Awesome. So that screen, what you have in your hand there, for those, so you guys can understand, the thing that you have in your hand right there replaces emulsion. It replaces drying the emulsion, taking the time out for drying the emulsion. It takes the time off of printing negatives. It takes the time off of putting the negatives onto the screen in the proper spot. It takes away the time of burning the actual screen. It takes the time away from, you don't have to wash out the screen anymore, and you don't have to wait for the screen to dry. All of that time is gone with that's in your hand. Is that what what you're saying?
That's exactly right. Basically, there's 9 steps in conventional screen making. With digital thermal, there's 2. Stretch, burn. That's it. You're up on press.
Nice. Okay, so stretch and burn, right? So
that's it.
With a traditional screen printing, you have to reclaim a screen, but with this, you just have to, you can stretch your own screen. And in traditional screen printing, you have to get an actual screen that's already stretched. But this right here, you can actually make your own screen. Can you show us how a screen is made?
Absolutely. I'll get Heidi to come over, and we'll go ahead and do that right quick.
Okay.
So
our video is paused. I want to make sure that we get this part. Heidi, is the video showing good on your end?
Yeah.
Okay. We're good now. Okay. So Ted, Jay, can you explain what you're doing?
Yeah. So right now, these are our stretch frames. Now, you're not married to these frames. We have customers who use the other types of frames. It's just these are really, really quick. And what I'm doing now is I'm loosening all the channels up on the outside edge of the frame. And the reason I'm doing that is so we can get maximum stretch when we go to stretch the frame or stretch the mesh onto the screen.
Awesome.
And so once I've got them all loosened up, these are D-bars, and I'm just going to pop these D-bars up, get them out of the way. And as you can see, I've got a screen that we've already used on this one, so I'm taking it off.
Okay. So
one more.
I can vouch for Jay right now. I've done this. This is one of the only learning curves with using this technology, and it's really not difficult at all. You can learn how to do this in literally 10 minutes and somebody showing you how to do it. You watch a video. It's very, very easy to do. There's just 3 little screws on each side that you loosen. And right now he just took off the bars that he explained. And now he's gonna go ahead, take it away, Jay.
Okay. And I'm going to do this kind of backwards of how I normally do it. So this is called a D bar because it looks like a D. And what it does is when we put the channel in, we're going to twist it. And when we do, it's a cam lock, and it's going to lock the mesh into place.
Okay.
So all I'm going to do is take the D-bar, push down on it, rotate it, and you hear it pop in. These frames pop into place.
Okay.
Then I'm going to carry my mesh down, go to the other side, and do the same thing.
Nice.
And then now I'm just going to cut the mesh and get it out of the way.
Easy.
And then I'll lock the other sides in. Yeah, this is super simple. It really doesn't take a lot to learn how to do this at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So now.
Okay.
No, I was going to say, now my screen is in. And so now I'm going to tighten the screen up. And when I tighten these channels up, it's going to stretch it in all 4 directions. And I'm going to keep it laid down so you can kind of see how it goes. I'm just going to tighten up the centers first.
Okay. I should have had one of you guys timing this in the chat so you guys can see how fast he's doing this.
Yeah, Alan, the problem is I talk too much, and so it would be a lot faster if I didn't run my mouth, right? So I've just tightened the inside screws up, and I'm already you can see how fairly tight I am. I'm going to finish it off and get the outside screws. Again, as Alan mentioned a minute ago, it's 12 screws, 3 on each side. And we do have, while I'm finishing this up, so we do have different mesh counts as well. I'm sure that's a question that your viewers are going to ask. And I'm using what's called our 120 mesh right now. So this works a little bit different than conventional screen printing because I can get much higher detail with a much lower screen count than you can with conventional screen printing. But basically, Alan, I'm done.
Wow. Now, that was fast, guys. So, so let's rewind for a second. You just got a screen prepared, and the next step, you can tell them what the next step is. What's the next step?
Next step is we're just going to put it on the exposure unit and we're going to burn it. And when we get done with that, it only takes 90 seconds. When we get done with that, we have a screen that is ready to go up on the press and run your production job with.
Okay. Can you show how to mount it onto the machine?
Yeah. Heidi, if you'll come over and stand at the end of the machine.
And this is the QS2536.
This is our larger machine. This is our house unit. It's the QS2536. And let me explain a little bit about it. So the best part is the thermal head. That's the part that does the business, and that's located right here. This is a 1200 DPI thermal head. And so it's very, very high resolution. It's made specifically for RESO, and this machine can accommodate some different sizes of frames. What we have here is basically a 20 by 24, but you can go up to a 23 by 31, and you can also go all the way up to a 25 by 36 inch frame if you want to.
Wow. Okay. Yep. So, that's a big machine right there. Like, what do you know the dimensions offhand, or?
48 inches long, 47 and a half inches long by 31 inches wide by 19 inches tall.
Okay. Now, just so you guys understand, right? If you're going traditional, Heidi, let's see how we put that in there. If you're going traditional, that device right there at that size replaces the exposure unit, replaces the washout booth, replaces the dip tank, replaces the emulsion. It replaces so many things with just one single device. And you guys already have a computer, so okay, let's continue on. Let's see what are we burning today, Jay?
I've got so if I'm being real honest, we had a Windows update on my laptop last night. I had it set up and had no images on it. So Heidi just pulled up on our computer here, on her computer. So Heidi, if you want to show them what we've got.
Let's see. Okay, is that anime?
Yeah, it's anime.
Nice, I like that. Okay. So we're gonna be burning some anime, guys.
There we go.
All right, so nice. Oh man, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, all right, ready to go when you are.
All right, hang on just 1 second. And so with this, you were asking how to put it in. So you want to take the frame and it's facing up, squeegee side up. You're going all the way to the back of the machine. There's 2 guards here that hold it into place. Right. And there's also a left-right guard here. And what this does is helps you put the screen in exactly the same way every time. And since this is a digital output, that means it doesn't matter if you're doing 6 colors or whatever. the image goes in the exact same place on the screen every single time. And that way it makes multiple color registration a lot easier when you go up to your press, because you got them in the exact same spot on the frame.
Okay. So when you're doing multicolor, to break that down, what you just said, when you're doing multicolor, you just put the screen in the machine, the same position, and you just go to the next color and you print that, next color, print that, next color, print that. And then you got if you're doing a 3-color job, you got your 3 screens right there, right? And it's automatically registered to the screen.
That is correct. You still need screen print separation software, but this way, at least it makes it easier when you go up to the press that everybody is in the same location. Okay. And then I'm gonna explain a little bit more about that. I want you to remind me to get back to that. I want to give your people a tip on how to register multiple colors on their press.
Okay.
And when we get up press, we'll talk about it. We're just doing a single color here today, though.
Awesome. Okay.
So once we get it up there, we're going to take the machine, we're going to close it, and then all we're going to do is go here and click print. It's going to take about 90 seconds to burn.
Okay, wait, before you guys press print.
Okay.
Let's go over what we're looking at here. We're looking at a computer, and it's plugged in to the red box, aka the QS2536, via a USB cord, right?
A printer cord, Type B printer cord.
A standard printer cord. Right. So
that's it.
If anybody's got a printer at home, you got this cord already. All right. So there's no special power required. You can just plug the QS2536 to the wall outlet at the house.
That is true. And here's the coolest thing about this. Since these are made in Japan, what they do is they have a switching board inside. So it doesn't matter where you're at in the world. You can plug this into a wall. You can plug it into 120, or if you're in, say Mexico City, where they have 220 power, you can plug it in the wall there. This recognizes the voltage that's coming in and will switch to it.
Cool. Now, what I like, first of all, let me give them a backstory real fast. I was walking through. I forgot where I was. I think I was at Impressions Expo in Atlantic City, and that's when I first saw the machine. No, actually, I think the first time I saw the machine was at my friend Fidel's shop. He had one already, and he showed me how it worked, and I was amazed. And then I saw you guys. I made up my mind that I wanted one, and then I went to the expo specifically to get one. And that's when I saw the technology working in person. And listen, I'm gonna let you guys continue. We'll talk about this story later on, guys. So now, what are you guys doing now? What's the next step?
Okay, so and so I can explain it to viewers a little bit better. So we happen to be in CorelDRAW here, but it doesn't matter. This thing's like a peripheral device. Think of it as like your office printer. You can, as long as whatever program you're in, as long as you have a print function, you can find this and you can print to it. When we're at shows and like if we forgot our little invoice book, I can actually just go out of Microsoft Excel and print the invoice onto a T-shirt, or onto a screen and then onto a T-shirt.
You never showed me. You never told me that.
Yeah. So here you actually have we're using CorelDRAW, but it doesn't matter what you use. It's just when you go to click print, you need to find the QS. Okay, it's just a print driver that sends it to this. It's simply a peripheral device. It is not a direct output device like a film printer is, where you have to have special software to run it.
Okay. So Photoshop, Illustrator, Affinity Design, Affinity Photo, Microsoft
anything
Paint.
That's got a print, anything that's got a print button to it. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
If you can find in that program, you can find a print and go down and click printer, and you can select a printer. You can use that to burn a screen with.
I did not know that. I'm gonna have to explore that. And is it software that comes with it?
So there's a print driver that just helps your computer that helps your computer communicate with the QS.
So
Now, I
that's
do
just
want
like
to
a
show you
driver for
something.
any other printer that you have to download the driver to communicate with the printer.
That is correct. That
All
is
right.
correct. And here's what I'll show you what the driver looks like. Now, this is PC version. Okay. So I've got my, I can choose my different frame sizes. I can choose whether it's portrait or landscape. And then here's the really, really cool part of it is I can set it up whether I'm trying to print a vector, which is a hard edge image, or
Mm-hmm.
whether I'm trying to get halftones out of it, which is what I'm wanting to do here. And so I can set my screen frequency, LPI, and my angle, which means that's the pattern of the dots. And then also tells how big the dots are, how small the dots are, and what angle that they are at. And then listen, most of the time we set this one way and just leave it, and it does a good job on it on its own. So you don't have to get complicated with it. Usually we help you set up the driver. And I've set yours up. Yours is at 6045. This one's at 6037, and it gives you good dots.
I'm glad you told me what mine is at, because I too had to update my computer and all my settings are lost. So thank you for telling me. Now I can go back and set it up. All right. So what's the next step, Jay?
The next step is my favorite. It's just simply click print. It's right now, it's going to take about 10, 15 seconds to send data over to the QS. You're getting ready to see the data light flashing right here.
Okay.
And when it turns solid, we're going to hear a beep, and that means it's ready to burn. And when it's ready to burn, I'm going to hit that green start button, and it'll take 90 seconds to burn it.
Okay. On my device, I think you just print and you don't have to press start.
Yeah, on yours, you're on the QS200. That is correct.
Okay, so let's get some action here. I see the head came down.
Okay.
I'm just going to try and get you a good angle.
Okay.
So what's happening right now, guys, is that thermal head is passing over the back of the screen, and it is melting the PET coating wherever we want ink to go through at.
Nice. Wow, I see that already on the screen. So on average, if somebody's doing like the maximum size image on the screen, how fast would you say that this burns? Look, we're pretty much done already.
It's about, if you're doing a 25 by 36, you'd probably be looking at about 2 minutes and 10 seconds for it to burn the screen.
That's
I have Express
impressive.
Black.
You got black?
Express Black.
Where?
On top of the platinum.
What happened? Let's see.
Oh, I was telling him that I have the ink ready for him to print.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Mm-hmm.
So we're going to kind of hold this up to the light and let you, and we're done. So the screen is burnt. There's no washing out. You don't have to deal with any of that. And no peeling film positives off. There's no washing out. There's no post exposing. This is ready to print. It's ready to go up and ready to print a T-shirt.
All right.
There's no faster way you can do it.
Could you hold that up so we can try to like see? Wow. Yeah. See the detail. Now, guys, what you're looking at right that is ready to screen print on. Are you gonna put some tape around the edges?
No, not really. I'm just
Okay.
gonna. So if you're just running like a 100 shirts here, here's the thing: is you don't want to clean the frame when you're done. That's a waste of time. So if I thought I was going to get ink on the edges of it, I would put some tape around it.
Yeah.
Merely because when I get done with the job, what I want to do is just clean the ink, excess ink of it. I want to cut it out and throw it in the trash. I don't want to have to clean this frame up, but that wastes too much time.
Okay, so just pop it on there, and then after the fact, I can wipe it off if I need to. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do it as preventative, that's a great idea, and you can certainly do that.
You know what? I didn't even think of that because Plastisol ink will not get dry, so I can actually just.
That's right.
Oh my gosh! I just had a epiphany.
Epiphany.
Wow, I've been okay. That's good to know. That's good to know. Good information. All right, so what are you doing now?
So all I'm gonna do now is I'm selecting the right size of squeegee. So let me throw a little extra out there for you guys. One thing, when you go to print your image, you need to select the correct size of squeegee. So what's the correct size? Well, generally it's your image size plus another inch. If you're printing a little image like this, you don't need a big old squeegee like this. You just don't. It's a waste of effort, and it makes it a lot higher. The bigger the squeegee, it's a little harder to handle and a little harder to print with. So you want just a squeegee, big as your image size, plus maybe an inch or so. And so Heidi just looked at the image, saw it, and she just handed me this squeegee right here, and she's perfectly given me one that's just about an inch larger than my image area.
Let me ask you, Jay,
Yes, sir.
Are you a puller or a pusher?
I knew that was coming. Listen, I do both. What I've found over the years is if you have a large area, you're trying to get down like a lot of white ink onto a black T-shirt. We all have trouble. Listen, every screen printer has trouble with white ink. There's just no two ways about it. It's the nature of the beast. When I'm going to do a pull stroke, and here's the reason is when you do a pull stroke, you are mashing the ink through. So you're going to get a little bit more coverage. And as long as your screen is tight and your off contact's good, you'll clear it out well. But here's the key. When you're doing half tones, those tiny little dots, you want to do a push stroke. And the reason is because this is your small edge. And when you go to make we're going to go under my microscope here. Let's pretend this is the dot that is on this screen. This is your halftone dot.
Yeah.
When you print it with a really thin ink, like a black ink, unfortunately, the hole in the screen is this size, but it's going to print bigger because of what's called dot gain, which is something else that screen printers have to learn to work with. And if it's a really thin black ink, when it prints, it's going to print somewhere between 20 and 40% bigger. And so that's the reason sometimes if you're printing a halftone, you're like, man, that looks so much darker than what I thought it was going to be. You don't feel, like you're any different than anybody else. It happens to every screen printer. And so if you do a pull stroke on this dot, it's going to give you too much ink. But if you want to make that dot clean up just a little bit, you're going to want to do a push stroke with it. So if you're doing simulated process or process printing where you're doing really fine dots, always try and utilize if you're on a manual press, always try to utilize a push stroke. It'll make your dots much cleaner and give you less dot gain.
Good information. Okay. That was so when you're doing a screen print job that has a white underbase, first of all, do you do white underbase or do you just like go over it with ink, the color ink several times?
It depends on what the customer requests. If I'm trying to do it properly, I'm going to do a white underbase. If it's a dark garment with a white color, like the medium colored ink, I'm going to do an underbase under it because it's going to give me the truest rendition. And I always say it this way, Alan. When you had an art class in school, okay, what color paper did your teacher hand you?
White.
That's right. She hands you a black sheet of paper. She hands you a white sheet. And the reason being is because it gives you the truer rendition of the orange or green crown that you were using or whatever marker you were using. And so for us to get the real color, the correct color rendition of what we're trying to print, we always need to use a white underbase to get that true color rendition on top of a medium to dark colored garment.
It'll pop a little bit more. Okay.
Oh, yeah. It's beautiful.
All right.
All right. A couple other things. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, my friend.
So we got some people that haven't screen printed yet that are watching. So all this is great information. Jay, we appreciate it. Don't hesitate to throw in anything extra that you want to advise to people that have never screen printed before, because we need all the information while we got you online.
Awesome. I'm happy to help out, and that's what I wanted to do today. I wanted to cover about kind of 5 little extra topics, and so we've already come across 2 of them. I'm getting ready to get you the 3rd one right now,
Okay.
and that is off contact when you print. So if you look at my screen, my screen is not touching my garment. Well, I'm using a Pellon right now, but it's not touching it. I'm about 3/16 of an inch over the top of it. You never ever want to print completely flat to the garment, because what happens is there's if you have no off contact, there's no spring back, and what happens is the ink wants to stay in the screen. It don't want to go on the shirt, and we want to make it go to its home, which is going to be on the shirt.
Okay.
And by
Jay, pause right there for 1 second.
Yeah.
Pause right there for 1 second, because you're using screen printing terminology, and we got to break it down, because the new people, you're saying off contact. People that have never screen printed before, like, they're hearing you, but and I understand that is exactly what you're saying, but some people might not understand, might not know what off contact is. It's exactly as it sounds, off contact. But explain, please.
Okay. Yeah. So if this is your garment, okay, and this is your screen, you do not want them flat against each other.
Right.
You want a gap, an equidistant gap of about 3/16 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch above it. Now I'm exaggerating a little bit more just to show you, but you never want to screen print flat to the garment, because again, what happens when they pull the squeegee over, the screen's just laying there in the ink and laying there on the shirt, and it don't want to go to the shirt. It'll
Big
just stay in the
mess.
screen. Yeah, right. So you need to make sure that screen has some distance between it and the garment that you're printing on. So when the squeegee goes over the top of it, it's pushing the mesh down. And on the other side of it, as the squeegee passes, it springs back up. And that springing action is what leaves the ink on the garment and not in the screen.
Yeah, that was one thing that in my beginning, I had like a little bit of problems understanding why. And let me just go over what you said again. You have that gap, and the screen is actually off of the platen, if you will. And as you go across with the squeegee is pushing the ink down, and that film is flexing down on and pushing the ink onto the garment. And then after the squeegee passes that point, the film pops back up, and it goes across and makes contact according to where the squeegee is, guys. That's how this works. All right. So we're breaking it down. Screen printing 101. All right. Continue on.
Very good, Alan. Thank you so much. Oh, one other thing, I'm just going to jump in right quick. Right here is for new screen printers. I was talking a minute ago about taping out the screen. So again, you don't want to make a big mess. You want to keep your mess minimal. So one thing that you should always do, this is a bottom clamp press, meaning that it clamps to this frame on the bottom. So when I go to put my squeegee back up there on a production job, I've got a tendency to get ink over onto the press and the frame. So what I do is just put me a piece of tape there to keep from getting ink onto the press. That way I don't have to clean the press later. I don't have to clean the squeegee later. And then I'm going to go ahead and give you one other one right quick, and that is tape your squeegee.
Oh,
and
right.
all you need to do,
right? Because because that plastisol ink is tough to clean that squeegee.
You see that inside there? That ain't ever coming out. You can sit there and spray on that for a month of Sundays, and you're never going to get that cleaned out.
Right? Because what you can pores.
Yeah, and there's a gap between the squeegee and the wood. And so what you can do is put tape on there. Okay. And this way, when you get done, you're just wiping it off. And you can leave this tape on there for, 4, 5, 10 printing sessions and just wipe it off, because it's not allowing ink to get down in there, and it wipes off really easily.
Good tip.
You don't even need to use chemicals to do it with. You can just wipe it off with a paper towel. Now again, we are using. Go ahead.
You didn't show me this when I came down, man.
See, man, listen, when I come up and train you, I gave you the $1 training. I'm giving your people like the $5 information right now.
Okay.
Check it out.
All right, I appreciate that. At least I'm getting it now. Better late than never, guys.
All right. So what I'm going to do now, Heidi has made this image a little too big. So we're not going to get the full image on it, but that's okay. Now I just grab my ink and put it at the top. I'm not flooding here because I don't need to, especially for this thinner stencil with the halftones. I'm just going to do a quick push stroke on it.
Okay.
And the first one's not going to be as dark. The second one will be right where I want it at. So push down to the garment.
Mhm.
Okay. And there's your first t-shirt.
Are you guys seeing this? Heidi, zoom in just a little bit. Just pull in just a little bit. Push that a little closer. Yeah, there we go. You see those eyes? See the detail? All right, go down a little bit. Nice. That is crazy. Just with one pass. That's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing. Man. Every time you do this, it's pretty amazing the detail that this thing gets with one pass. Now, how difficult would this image be to burn traditionally? I guess it's, once you burn a burnt screen is a burnt screen, but it would take so much longer to do what we just did. Like, Jay, from beginning to on the screen, right? On the press, how much time do you think a traditional burning a screen traditionally? How much time from a blank screen,
Including
including adding the
including
emulsion,
drying
because,
time.
well, maybe not, because, well, yeah, traditionally you have to add the emulsion. So yeah, the whole process.
Right. So it depends on how big the shop is and how efficient they are. Just starting out, you're going to be a minimum of 2 to 3 hours. Minimum. Most people let their screens dry overnight because they
Right.
don't have a screen drying box. So yeah, it's even a pretty efficient shop is probably a couple hours in to make a screen from a blank frame to make a screen that is press ready, ready to
Wow.
print.
And you just did it in
Here's
what?
one
10
less than
minutes?
5 minutes,
Less
probably
than 5
about
minutes?
2.5 to 3 minutes. Yeah. If those Heidi was showing you those really small dots, okay, that are on there, that's the hard thing to do when you're doing conventional screen printing, is to get those dots to come out. And here, it's just push a button. With conventional screen printing, that's a trick, and to get it right. Another problem that you have with conventional screen making is this: that when it leaves a dot there and you go to rinse it out, if that dot doesn't fall onto a line of thread, you're washing it out and it's going down the drain and it's never going to print. You're not going to see it on the t-shirt. Here with our technology, because it works more like what they call capillary film, the dot is there. It doesn't care about the line count. It doesn't care if a thread is there or not. When you burn it, the dot is there and
Okay.
it will print.
All right. Another question. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now you're putting it through the dryer right there. Now,
Uh-huh.
one thing and hurdle that I'm still facing is registration. Registration is a big issue in traditional screen printing. What would you recommend for somebody using this technology to register a screen? And also, why are you not flooding? Could you explain that again? Because I always flood. Wow. On the
Let me pull
t-shirt.
that off.
On a t-shirt. Look at that detail, guys. Single color, amazing detail. That's like at that size, I'm thinking that's not a 20, that's like a $30-$40 shirt. Maybe like, I'd say 30-35. You got to account for what people are actually willing to pay versus what it's worth these days. I think that's like a $40 shirt. On a good quality shirt, not on a Gildan, guys, not on a Gildan, on a good quality shirt, that's an expensive shirt right there. That's an expensive piece.
Hey, I'll throw this up so Heidi's gonna kill me, but this was her first try, 4-color process.
Okay, Heidi, let's get close on that. Let's see.
Little Bob Ross love.
Nice. Okay, look at all that detail though. So, all right, now registration. We need some type of way
Okay.
where people can understand. Okay, so explain to us what registration is and explain to us how we would register using this technology.
Okay. So in your artwork, what you need to do is make registration marks. And you need to make them on every screen for every color, and they have to be in exactly the same place. Now, some people like using what's called a target. It's a circle with an X through it. Those work very well. Now, the one that I like looks a little different. I like a long line at the top with a little T off of it, and I'll show you in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And then one at the bottom with a long T. And here's the reason that I like that one, and I'll show you what it looks like in a moment.
I think we need one pause for a second because I'm doing what you were just doing. I said registration, and people that have never screen printed might not even know what registration is. So let me try to break it down, no matter of fact, you the expert, you break it down for us. What is registration?
Well, luckily, and I didn't think of this, but Heidi did. We have a 3-color that's up here.
Okay.
And so where your rig marks at?
It's right here.
Okay. So hopefully you guys can see that.
Wait.
Yep.
Okay.
Hang on just 1 second, and I'll
Okay.
show you guys. And we'll
So let me try to explain it while you guys are getting it together over there.
Okay,
So
go ahead.
in my novice explanation, registration is like, so you have an image, right? A customer's going to give you an image, and each image is different. You might get an image and you have to sit there and kind of like analyze how many colors makes up this total image. So registration, when you're burning a screen, you have to burn, like say if you got a red in the image, a green in the image, a blue in the image, and a pink in the image. So it's going to take you 4 screens, hypothetically, to create that whole image. So you burn I forgot the colors I said, red, you burn the blue screen, and each screen that you burn is a different part of the image. So now registration is where you line up each screen on your press so that everything lines up as perfectly as possible. And in order to do that, and rather than to put the images on the press and line it up using the actual image, you put marks, small marks, so you can line up each screen in that same exact spot so that everything registers. And we'll talk about that later on. With you guys remember yesterday's live, right? So yeah, let's keep on going. Come on, Jay, let's go.
Okay. So basically what it is, and Heidi's been kind of showing on the video here that the 3 colors she's got up, the registration marks between, this is a white, gold, and a navy print. And so you've got those registration marks at the top and the bottom. Now, if she'll step back, what we would do is to do the registration is we would take this image, first color, and usually I'll start with the darker, the trap color, the outline color, or a darker color. And what I'm going to do is I would print it, including the registration marks, onto a shirt. You got to make sure that shirt is tacked down really well, stuck down really well, that it can't move. Make sure that your screen can't move.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to print it, and then you're going to go to the next color, and then you can use your press to move this screen around to line the registration marks of this screen up to the print that you just printed. And then you would print that, then you would move to the next color and next color. And a lot of people will say, hey, well, that registration mark's going to be on the shirt. When you're done registering, you take tape and you tape up those registration marks so they don't come through on your production shirt.
Okay, so
now,
yeah,
Go ahead.
As you're registering the screen, you're just like looking at it with your eyes and lining up the targets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, and you can move it around, and again, not really set up to do it today, but Alan, I'd be willing and happy to come back in the future and do a registration. Like we could set up a 3-color registration and do that live or as a video for you.
Registration tutorial. Yes, please.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
We'll set that up. Yes, definitely. Definitely. I think we need that.
I agree.
Okay. So that has been done already. So that is the QS2536, and the other machine that you guys sell is the QS200, and also the smaller baby machine, more portable, very versatile, and new components just came out for it. Well, you had them already, but like the metal frames that go across it, and that's the MyScreen device.
Yes.
Now, what are the differences between the QS2536 and the QS200?
Okay, the differences between the similarities are this: they both utilize stretch first, then burn systems, meaning that you're going to stretch your mesh out and you're going to place it onto onto those exposure units, whether it's the 225-36, and then you're going to burn them, and then now you are ready to print with. And so I'll go ahead. So that's the similarities. Now I'll give you the differences. So let's take a step over here for a second. So number one, this one has an 18-inch thermal head, and it makes one pass, and the screen is done. The QS200 has a 4-inch thermal head, and to make 16 inches, it has to make 4 passes to make the 16-inch width. Okay. Also, this is 1200 DPI resolution, and the 200 is 600 DPI resolution.
Okay.
And that's the main differences between them.
Oh, interesting. So you're getting a higher DPI, dots per square inch, with the 2536. You're getting a larger print area also?
Yes.
Okay. And it also burns faster, from what you just said.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's what we call a single pass thermal head. Just one time, that's it.
So just to clarify, guys, both technologies are fast. Obviously, the 2536 is better. That's not the one that I have. But both technologies are great. The 2536 being the one I would think for like a big screen printing shop. You can use it in your home, but I would think that the QS200 is probably the better buy if you're limited in space. But they're both big machines. But if you have the budget for it, I would say just go for the 2536. I didn't have the budget for it, so I got the QS200. But maybe one day in the future, I will get the 2536. But the MyScreen, another device that I have, I'll make a video for that, and maybe I can get Xpress Screen to come on again and demonstrate that device. But you guys, I have a video on my channel already showing that device. But Jay, did you have something to add to that?
I was going to say we can go ahead and give a little teaser on it right quick.
Okay.
I have that.
Yeah, that's the MyScreen right there. Yeah. Look how small that form factor is. Very, very portable. And it's a super, super easy device that you can use, and you can print from your cell phone. Yeah.
Yes, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely cool. So I'm going to give you guys like 5 minutes if you guys have any questions for Jay about the device. You guys can call in and ask any questions at this time. The call-in number is 445-272-8022 if you guys have any questions for Jay related to the QS200, QS2536, or the MyScreen device. We'll have Jay on again, or somebody else from Xpress Screen, to give us a demonstration in another video on the MyScreen device. But if you guys are anxious to see it, that small contraption that he just showed, I have a video already on my channel showing that specific device. But where's the next expo that you guys are going to be at live if anybody wants to come out and see you guys?
We're definitely going to be at the Impressions show in January in Long Beach, California.
Okay. Okay. So Impressions Long Beach. Are you guys also doing Atlantic City this year, or to be announced? To be determined.
Be announced.
Okay. To be determined. Okay. Cool.
Determined.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I think you covered everything and then some. In the chat, if you guys have anything, if you guys are scared to call in, and you guys have any questions, just ask me, and I'll relay the questions to Jay. Victoria says, hello. Like to say thank you for your advice yesterday. The lady loved her pants. Okay. Yeah, that's related to another video. Okay, cool. No problem, Victoria. Thank you so much for viewing in today. We got one person calling in. 1 second. Let me grab this phone call. Hopefully it's somebody from the stream and not spam likely. Hello?
Hello. Hi. Good evening.
Hey, Mr. Oh, is this Levite? Levite, thank you so much for joining in, calling in. What was your question? What did you want to ask Jay?
So, Jay, I have a question.
Ask away.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Good to meet you, by the way.
So, because if those guys got together, oh my God.
Oh yeah, I'm very familiar with them.
Okay, we want to. Do you have any questions about the QS200 or 2536?
Yeah. So, as far as alignment, everything prints together exactly in the same spot. Because if I go and I separate it on Photoshop or Adobe Illustrator, I actually have separation software. All I do is I put the image, it separates it to different colors, and then it even gives it a what do you call that thing? A registration mark.
Nice.
And it's precise line up. Will it print all 4 of them or all 5 of them? Because you always need the white and then the other 4 colors.
That's a great
or
question.
Do I have to like add it on your software, or do I just plug and play?
So you're using like an AccuRip or something like that to do your separations for you. When that comes out as a file, it's one file with say 5 separations in it. You cannot print directly to this. It's not a spool printer. It's not like an Epson Stylus 6710. What you do is you would open those up and send them one at a time to this.
Okay. So if I can add to that, Levite, what you would do is you would in your and Jay, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but in the software, as you have your screen size set up, you import the first separation, right? And then you center it. You center it, whatever command that is, depending on the software you're using. And then you send it to print. Then you remove that, put on the next image. Of course, with the registration mark still on there in the same place, you center that and print it. Therefore, it's printing in the same exact spot. Correct, Jay?
Yeah. Most of the time with, say, a PSD file or something like that, if you're importing it, say you're pulling it back into Illustrator. If you import it in, if you just hit enter, it'll automatically size it and automatically center it. So you don't have to recenter or do anything with it. It'll be in the right spot when you go to print it.
Cool. All right. So thank you so much, Levite, for calling in. Did that answer your question, Levite?
I did not hear him, but I'll catch the replay. I'm gonna go back on your live.
Okay. Yeah, you probably would have to be watching the video to actually hear him, and that would create an echo. So yeah, watch the replay, and that'll answer your question. But Levi, thank you so much for calling in, man.
Appreciate you calling in, friend.
Also, I want to know how heavy is that? Can one come over and just grab it and bounce?
If you want, I think he said if somebody wanted to purchase it, could could somebody just come there and buy it?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're the North American master distributor for Riso Thermal products. So we're in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. You can give us a call. We can have it shipped to you. Or if you'd like to come down, and you're welcome to come here and see a demo. Also, we schedule live demos. So like you yourself could schedule a Zoom with us, and we could run back over this with you and answer any questions that you might have.
Cool. So, yeah, Levi, I actually went down to North Carolina and got some training after I purchased my device. So that is a service that they offer at no extra charge, or is it a charge now? I don't know what it is now.
No extra charge. No, we're
So, yeah, Levi, thank you so much for calling in, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
I appreciate you, man.
All right, have a good one, man.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so if anybody else has any questions, now is your chance to call in, because guess what? People have to go to work. So I'm holding them up right here. So Jay, thank you so much. Heidi, thank you so much. And there's one more thing people might want to know. Look, DJ Kev says, okay, cool. I'm in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. So go by and see if you see something you like at a live in-person demonstration and pick something up possibly. So yeah, I think it's a great device. And I think just off of yesterday's live, and the reason why I'm glad you guys agreed to come on today, because it's a perfect matching pair, because like the registration situation could be corrected, could be done easier with that specific device we talked about yesterday. And this right here just alone just lets you guys be able to do the screen printing process very, very clean in a smaller area. And a lot of us are working out of our homes, and you don't need to have you don't have to have an exposure unit. You don't have to have any chemicals, which can be harmful for you in the house. You don't have to learn how to coat the screen, let the screen dry, have a drying system, burn the screen with the exposure unit. Just do away with all that technology, all that old school stuff. Just boom, your computer, print it straight to the screen. Boom, now you're screen printing. Now the next step will be,
right.
Okay, what device do I screen print on? Because like I said, the space issue, yesterday's video, you know what I mean? So
Yep.
Boom.
Yep. That fractal system's nice.
Yeah. So Jay, thank you so much for coming on. Heidi, thank you so much for coming on also. Tell Ted I said hello. And if anybody wants to go check out some more information, how can they reach you guys?
You can go to our website, www.xpressscreen.com. You can give us a call, 336-722-2500. Or also, we check our social media. So go check us out on Instagram or Facebook. That's Xpress Screen.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jay. I'm going to let you go now. I'm not going to hold you up anymore. Levi says, don't forget low water bill because you're not watering it at all. Right.
Yep.
So there's no water bill involved. Oh, one thing we forgot to cover, Jay, is the fact that after you're done with that screen and you get another job, you just simply cut the screen off and stretch a new screen. That's what's so wonderful about it.
Trash. That's right. You're only looking at about $7-8 per frame. So it's a win-win. I mean, you don't want to spend 15 minutes cleaning a bunch of ink up. So yep. Get a fresh screen, start back over. Here's the thing. You get sometimes real quick. I know you want, you go in a screen printing shop, they got 1,000 screens in there. My wife used to call them, paid workers who weren't earning any money, man, because they just stacked up across the wall, all the way across the wall. The new way of doing it with digital thermal, this is where you keep your screens at, right here. You don't need hundreds of thousands of screens. That's right. You keep your screens right here. All you have to do is keep a digital file of it. And when the customer comes in, boom, you're 5 minutes away, less than 5 minutes away from burning a fresh screen.
Nice.
$8. You can incorporate that into your printing cost of your next job. No big deal.
Exactly. So, guys, I'm going to be making more videos in the future showing you guys my QS200. I don't typically make videos on it because I do one color jobs, but we're working out this registration situation so I can do some more complex things for you guys. But it's not really, it's only but so much I can show because of me, just like you, my limited space, which is why I'm so hung up and hell bent on showing you guys the things that are possible and the things that are the technology that's available for you so that you guys can get going and achieve things that you want to achieve and make more money in your business, even though you have a limited, smaller space. So once again, thank you so much, Jay. I appreciate you for coming on, and we'll talk to you next time.
Alan, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Thank you to all you guys that watched today. We appreciate you watching. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
No problem. All right, guys. So there you have it. Xpress Screen. Fantastic technology. And I went down to North Carolina and visited the facility. Great group of people. They helped me understand it so much. And Jay actually even came down to my studio and gave me some hands-on training, because when I was in North Carolina, I actually kind of forgot the information that I learned, and I didn't document it enough because I was like, kind of like, you know how, okay, so if you're taking video, you're not really digesting the information. So if you haven't captured with your camera the information good enough, when you go home and try to implement, you might not have captured it in a good enough way to where as though you can implement what you should have learned because you were busy recording. So Jay came down again and showed me what he had already showed me in North Carolina, which is amazing and very nice of them, you know. So that's the type of company that you're dealing with. Now, these technologies, you guys are going to have to contact them. One thing I forgot to ask them is the price points. They are not cheap to buy, but they're not astronomically priced compared to other digital screen burning system. Compared to other digital screen burning systems, they're on the low end, right? But you gotta think about the alternative and what's involved with the alternative, right? The alternative is you have to get a bigger facility, you have to get an exposure unit, you have to get a printer to print the negatives, you have to know how to print the negatives, you have to line up each print on each screen, you have to get the old screens, you have to save the screens, you have to get a washout booth, you have to get emulsion, you have to get screen cleaner, you have to get what do you call that gun? A compressor gun. You have to get a compressor. You have to. Don't nobody got time for that. Like, seriously. So that's why I want you guys to see what's possible in your small little space. But that device teamed up with the Fractals limited space needed, and straight your image, burn to screen, no space, not that much space needed, to straight onto the Fractals machine. And you guys see, all you gotta do is, it's a no-brainer if you guys want to do screen printing. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below as you're watching this video on the replay, and let me know what you guys want to see next. And don't forget, AlanAWade.com. If you guys want to get any DTFs, if screen printing is not your thing, that is okay. You guys can go to AlanAWade.com, go to build your DTF gang sheet, or go to build your UV DTF gang sheet. Or if you want to order some labels or stickers right there, you want to get some sublimation socks, I got you covered. And yeah, if you want me to print you out a single color screen printed tee using my QS200, then you can go to custom screen printed tee right here, as you guys can see, and upload your image, and I will print you out on a nice quality shirt, this is not going to be a Gildan G500. On a nice quality shirt, I'm going to screen print you out a single color image. You can select the quantity that you want using, yeah, and you guys see it's very, very affordable right there. You can select which type of shirt. You can 500 if you want, or next level, or you can go top tier, Shaka wear, and I got you covered, guys. All right, so custom transfer by size, build your own gang sheet right here, you know, and you can upload your image and everything. Yeah, so it's I got you covered. All right, so thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll see you guys on the next live, and I got some good stuff coming up, so you definitely want to stay tuned. Definitely want to check the shorts, because as I'm coming out with this new stuff, you guys are I'm gonna go live and things like that. So let me know what you guys thought about the QS2536. Let me know what you guys thought about the demonstration. Let me know if it was impressive. Let me know if it's not impressive. Let me know if you're a traditional screen printer, whether it's not for you, or if it is for you, or if it's worth taking a second look at. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Talk to you guys on the next live. A-Dubb Productions, and we out of here.